Kayfabe Friends. I'm the David Difference. Oh, what a difference a Dave makes. It's been a minute since WrestleMania. We have not done a podcast, but today is a sad day in the wrestling world, at least in this household, as the iconic figure, the guy who got me into wrestling and the reason why I love this business to this day, Hulk Hogan. It was announced today that he had passed away. And so just like when I was a kid, he brought me into wrestling. When I got out of it and NWO came back, I came back into wrestling. And after this news, I had to get on here and pay tribute. So welcome to Kayfabe Friends. We're going to be talking about Hogan and a lot of other stuff. And I want to bring in one of my Kayfabe compadres. We're talking about Chase Brogan, the man, the myth, the legend. That intro was a little soft, man. But I've known you for going on a year and a half now, or maybe a year. Was it last year at CAC? Yeah, last year at CAC.
Yes. So
last
almost
August, a year. Time flies.
It does, man. It's been a flash.
Yeah, but Chase Brogan. So but the man behind the scenes and on camera as well, behind the Buff Bagwell channel on YouTube, and doing a lot of good stuff that we're going to talk about coming up. But we connected and we clicked up at CAC last year, and I know you're a Hogan guy, right?
I am a Hogan guy. I got the NWO tonight. Man. Similar to you, so I'm a little bit younger than you, but it was watching the old school Hulkamania 80s stuff on VHS, and then right around that time is when NWO kicked off, and I was like 6 when that happened, and just got sucked up into NWO everything back then. So yeah, I mean, I got to meet Hogan in 2002. I think it was right after him and Rock did their thing, and I got those photos somewhere in like a old school, 8 by whatever sleeve thing. But yeah, man, Hogan, sad stuff today, man.
Yeah, and a little behind the scenes is, we've been talking back and forth for the last couple weeks, and there's been a lot of rumors going on. Bubba the Love Sponge done said something, and he, in my mind, he didn't just pull that out of thin air that something was going on. And you know people that are close to him. I know people that are close to him, and you expected something to happen soon. I mean, obviously he was quiet on that front, and today was just kind of out of the blue that it hit. But we had kind of known that he wasn't doing well over the last couple of weeks, and it's his personal business. Everybody, you see the internet, these dummies, they're talking about, why isn't he saying something? Why is it like, even if he was doing fine, he doesn't have to say anything. He's living his life. Right. And, but to hear that today and to have the confirmation that my childhood hero has passed away, I had to sit with that. Like, I'm accustomed to people leaving this planet all the time. We just lost Ozzy Osbourne yesterday, and Theo from the Huxtable, and it's like, damn. But Hogan had such a huge inspiration in my life, and it's crazy because my phone was blowing up today with people like wanting to break the news to me, and I'm talking about people from elementary school that I haven't talked to in years. Like, hit me up on social, was like, I thought of you. You doing all right? You doing? This was your guy. Like, still is. Always shall be. What your initial reaction when you heard the news?
So I got a phone call from Buff like 10 minutes before the news broke, and he was like, "Did you hear?" And I obviously knew because we had been talking back and forth over the last couple of weeks, hearing different things. Obviously, he's got a little inside info, and I was like, Hogan, and he's like, that's what I heard. Has it been confirmed? And I literally just went to this computer and I typed in Hulk Hogan. I'm like, no, nothing yet. And then I hit refresh a couple times, and literally it was like 1 minute ago it released. So yeah, it's wild. Like you said, Ozzy, just yesterday? No, day before yesterday. They say it comes in threes, and we got our 3 right there, man.
I saw a post last night where somebody was like, who's going to be the third? And I was like, yeah, that is crazy.
Unfortunately, I feel like we knew who the third was likely to be.
I didn't think Hogan though, but no? I mean, Well, we knew
like
the status. I mean, there was behind the scenes rumbling of it's not looking good. He had like weeks ago, we were told he had weeks to live by accredited sources, I guess. But then Brian Blair, president of the Cauliflower Alley Club, who was a great friend of his and also out there in Florida, he made the post kind of dispelling the rumors, was like, no, he's good. You know, everybody stop with the rumors and chill.
Yeah.
Which I was like, okay, you know, if Brian's saying it, then, you know, he knows him on a personal basis.
Yeah.
You know, so it was a shock and a process. And yeah, I got the text. I got like 3 texts this morning. I was working and you good? Are you okay? And I was like, what the hell? I know I ain't been talking to people for a minute. What y'all talking about? And I was like, yeah, I'm good. And then as I picked up my phone to respond, I just happened to be on Instagram and then I saw it and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at this, like here, this is like, I don't have the most memorabilia, but Hogan is very prominent in the Kayfabe Friends studio here.
I got a signed photo right here on my wall, and I've got a wall of like a bunch of the pay-per-view WCW pay-per-view posters, and I mean he's on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's on literally every one. No, he's not on the Havoc from '94. That's Cactus Jack and Vader. So yeah, he's on like 11 of the 12. So yeah, I mean Hogan's everything, and that's the thing that I think. Today, everybody's a Hogan fan, right? And everybody's going to forget that they've been talking a lot of smack for a lot of years. And, you know, he's done and said some things that I don't support, but we can't lose track of the fact that none of us would be here into wrestling. The people in the business wouldn't be here in wrestling without the things that he did over the last, 40 years?
Oh, yeah. Iconic. He took the business to who knows where it would have been had you not had Hulkamania. Like I know as a kid, and I'll just tell you my first entrance into wrestling. My older brother, he's a year older. He got to stay up an hour later than me, and I remember one morning he was like, I stayed up. I saw Hulk Hogan beat the Iron Sheik, and I was like, Hulk Hogan, who's that? He was like the greatest wrestler ever. You know, he hyping it, the greatest wrestler ever lived. And I had okay, there's no internet. It's like, let me figure out when wrestling's on TV guide. Like I got to find out who Hulk Hogan is. And I was enamored. That was wrestling was everything to me. I used to stand in front of my house and do the Hulkamania workout, you know, the little 1 pound weights and the wristbands and the jump rope and in front of my house, just so everybody could see that I was a Hulkamaniac in case they drove by. Like everybody thought I was crazy, but I was so obsessed with it. And it just, that's the crazy part, is like a part of your childhood, somebody that has given so much to your childhood. And this book here, if you can see this, is well, I guess kind of see it, but this is Hulk Hogan keeps the belt. This, remember Scholastic? I don't know, maybe it was before your time.
No,
Scholastic used to get these back. I had this thing in like second grade. Like, I was like, they got a Hogan book and it's him versus King Kong Bundy, and like anything Hulk Hogan had to have it. So today, like, hit very hard in the wrestling industry. And you talk about everybody's a Hogan fan today. Let me address these haters, because, you know, you go through the comments, there's always a few. And, you know, people still, like you said, things have been said. You know, you have, before that, I want to touch on the one of the very sad parts is being as iconic as he's been. We've seen him come to different shows, come out, and, you know, receptions are sometimes mixed. And I don't know what happened this last time in LA, but that was the last time we saw him in front of the WWE universe, and they booed him out of the building. I felt bad at that time, and that was his last little hurrah. Now you got all these haters that are going to be like, oh yeah, Hogan, you know, they probably feel bad to a degree. Everybody makes mistakes, man. Your thoughts on his last time we saw him in WWE?
It's sad that that's how he goes out, you know, in a lot of ways. I don't think they did him any favors, you know, bringing him out in LA. I mean, WWE is a well-oiled machine. They know what they're doing. I think a part of me thinks that was planned. That all right, it's going to boo, it's going to make news, it's going it's going to make waves. That was the first Raw on Netflix, right? So I feel like that was strategized. I don't think it was by accident. And I'm bummed that that's his final WWE appearance, but that's not his legacy.
Right,
So
right.
you got to find some comfort in that at least. I mean, we know what he did for this business. I think everybody, whether you like him or you don't, you have to know that he's, on that Mount Rushmore, whether you want him on there or not.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely, the game is not the game without it. I mean, you got technical wrestlers, you got all different kind of styles, you got your favorites, this and that. But when it came to taking wrestling from this smaller, like certain crowd went and saw it to worldwide, global, pandemonium, music, movies, the whole bit, like everybody knew Hulkamania.
Broke down barriers, yeah, absolutely.
Who was that before that? I mean, you can go back and you could say superstar Billy Graham, or
but not on that stage, not on that level,
right? And but they were big in the wrestling community. Hogan was big worldwide, like he transcended that whole business. And so I don't care what anybody says. And, I think greatness is being able to pick from the superstars, from, this character, that, and make it what he made it.
Right.
It was just, and make you feel what the world felt. Like you said, you came in NWO days, you knew of Hulk Hogan before you got into wrestling, right? Before you started being a fan of wrestling, or?
Right. Well, that just kind of revamped it. Yeah. I mean, my dad used to take me to the video store, right? To like Blockbuster. Of course, it wasn't Blockbuster out here, but I would rent the older stuff, the WrestleMania 3, WrestleMania 4, 5, etc. And I'd watch Hulk Hogan then. So when he was, going out on Nitro, I was still catching up on what happened, 10 years before. But it was cool because I got to see, the red and yellow, and then I got to see the black and white at the same time, like the same days. I'd watch the old stuff, and then I'd watch it live on Monday Night Nitro. So it was a cool time to experience all of that at one time, whereas you experienced it maybe a few years prior.
Yeah, a lot prior, maybe more than.
I was being generous.
I appreciate you for that. And yeah, I could just tell you, like I remember, like it's so meaningful to me because, like, me and my brothers, we were big wrestling fans, and my grandfather would always watch it with me, and he'd get like, if Hogan was about to lose or something, I'd be pacing through the house, and he'd be cracking up like, calm down, like it was everything to me. And again, like I say, to this day, that's what wrestling is. We got the Real American Beer. If it had Hogan on it, like I got to get it. Like it just meant something. It was like a different dude. And his movies, do this movie suck? Yes, but as a kid, yeah.
Suburban Commando is good though. Come on, no holds barred. There's something to grab into there.
Yeah. Well, I enjoyed them all. I mean, when I saw them, it's like until I, got older, and then we start critiquing stuff. But I mean, what do you make the movies for kids? And then it's like Hogan's up there doing it, no holds barred. I got to see it. I just had to see it. If it had Hogan, I go see it. When they made knockoff toys in the dollar store of wrestlers, they always had a wrestler that looked like Hulk Hogan. Right. Like it could be. I'm grabbing the one with the blonde and the yellow shorts. Right. Like that's my guy. So like. Can't be said enough, but I want to address the haters because it's so crazy at wrestling fans. And I just posted some on the Kayfabe Friends Instagram, and RIP to the GOAT. Somebody had to reply, really? Not so much. Some shit like that. It's like, why?
For people to be like taking even a shred of joy out of this is just insane. I mean, again, whether you like them or you didn't, be respectful. At the end of the day, it's somebody that lost their life. He made mistakes. He was human. I don't condone the terrible things he said at one point in time, but people make mistakes. I think they can show growth from that point forward. They shouldn't be judged on that weak moment or that shitty thing that they did.
Yeah. I would like to address everybody, and maybe you as well, on this. Is like, we've all said some stupid shit, And when we thought we was in the privacy of this person or that person, like in this house, like if you bugged this house, I'd be canceled like years ago because we be saying some wild shit that we shouldn't say. It's taken out of context or maybe out of anger or maybe this and that. I never like, you know, as you know, if it was racially motivated, I never felt offended. I understand. You can almost say I understand what he was fucking saying. He just shouldn't have said it. Like us as black people, we say the same shit about each other, but it's like, oh, a white person thinks that he's a racist. You know, we're all a little bit racist. We've all said some stupid shit, and people just like they don't let it die. You know what I'm saying? It's fair. I think if you were in a private moment and you said some dumb shit, you know that's not your character. You know that's not your core. But you're having a conversation, private conversation that you think. And you're just talking, whatever, shooting the shit, and that becomes what everybody labels you as.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate thing. Well, yeah, for different reasons. I haven't done that one, but
yeah, right.
For the record.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
I just in there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For the record, Chase has never used that terminology. And we appreciate that clarification. But that's all I'm saying. It's like we as humans, like, show me a flawless human.
No, of course. There isn't one. There isn't one out there.
Doesn't happen. But, you know, so many people jump on the bandwagon because they're just glad it wasn't them. Right. You know, and anybody could have been in that situation. So I just say as people in the world, show some grace to everybody, especially there's blatant racist people out there that stand on that and live on that.
Right.
And then there's people that's like, I made a mistake. That's not me. You know, we say stupid shit. That doesn't, everybody's a little bit racist to some degree. Wouldn't you agree with that, Chase?
Trying to get me canceled over here. I do not agree with that. I do not agree with that.
But that's all I'm saying. It's like,
no, I got you.
Everybody wants to have an opinion and, you know, talk about it. And you're entitled to your opinion. That's all I'm saying. It's like, we've all made mistakes. We've all said shit. And so don't, like, the Hulk Hogan character, the persona, was my childhood.
He did a lot of good for a lot of people. He promoted positivity, you know, at least back then and all that. So yeah, you got to give him his due for the good that was done, and you know the positive impact he had for a lot of years.
There you go. I don't think you can sum it up any better than that. And just the last little thing, all my years, finally seen him last year, 2 years ago, when we went to Florida, and it was like time stood still. He was like 2 arm lengths from me at Hogan's hangout, and seeing him limp around, like I got emotional because that was my childhood hero, and he just, you know, he's on a cane, and it was like everything went silent, and I was just like sitting there looking at him, not like an obsessed stalker or some shit, but I was just like, this was the guy who was like the strongest man in the world, immortal. And that's when I was like, he's just a human being. And, you know, I felt bad for, you know, just like so much that he's given. And that's why he's in this, you know, pain, but he's received. So it's not like, you know, it was just this act of charity that he did. But it was a shock for me to see him like that. And I do remember getting emotional, just like clocking out.
It's a big impact that these guys have on their bodies doing this stuff. You know, people say it's fake and stuff, and sure, it's predetermined, but obviously it takes its toll. And that leg drop, for as many years as he was doing it, I mean, that's why he was walking the way he was walking, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And you can't dispute that. Like, so shout out to Hogan. Nothing but love, nothing but respect. I still like haven't processed the whole thing and what's to come. I know it for CAC, like we were waiting 60 years. Like that was the rumblings, like Hogan's coming next year. And I was like, all right, let's go. And, you know, that's it. I know that, you know, the family there, I haven't even talked to the people on the CAC board who are close with him. But, you know, shout out to Hulk Hogan's family, you know, son, daughter, Nick Brooke, his wife. Like just the world has lost an icon today.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
So I don't know how you segue out of that into anything else, but
well, Buff Bagwell.
Yeah. Moving on to more tragic news.
It's been a negative week, man. There's not much, Yeah, I feel like that's a positive one compared to obviously Hogan. I mean, he's getting things in order, not
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Like Buff Bagwell, it was just released on your guys' channel, the Buff Bagwell YouTube channel. Also, Maven did a behind the scenes look at the process of Buff Bagwell, who just recently had his leg amputated. When was, like, I know the video just went up, but when did you guys go out there and film that?
July 10th was the surgery date. Yeah.
Okay.
So we filmed the night before, so the 9th, and then, man, the 10th it's a blur, but we did, I think Maven and I were at his place at 6:30 in the morning, and then Maven and I went to dinner, I think, at like 11 o'clock at night. So it was a long day. Yeah. And I was at the hospital for, from 7 till about 10, something like that, 7 a.m. to 10, or 7:30 till 10 p.m. So it was a long day.
Yeah, and I'm sure, I mean, everybody's heard it, but if you haven't seen, like, go to the Buff Bagwell channel. I know you guys did you guys repost the Maven video on your channel there? Is that what I saw?
So we were Zach is Maven's producer, and then obviously I do Buff stuff. So we were kind of filming the same thing. So like, there's no shared footage, but we're pretty much like side by side for a lot of that stuff. So on the Buff channel, we did like a video beforehand. The video that went out alongside Maven's was basically everything that led up to surgery day. And then the following week, we did a video that was surgery day. And then we'll be doing update videos for the coming weeks, just kind of documenting, what week 1 was like, what week 2 was like, and so on, because it's going to be, a hell of a journey for him to kind of get back to where he needs to be. And he's going to have multiple surgeries moving forward as well to get a prosthetic, get fitted for it. So it's going to be a long road ahead, but he's in a very positive, headspace. And I think it's going to be fun to kind of inspire people, because that seems to be the feedback that we're getting on the channel, is people are just watching it and just blown away that this guy's literally losing, like, essentially a quarter of his body, and he couldn't be happier to do it, because he sees, what he's done. He's exhausted all options, right? So he's just trying to move forward in the best way possible to get his life back.
Yeah, no, I think that a couple of things stood out to me. And going back to CAC last year when I first met him, and there's been people that have struggled with addiction, throughout my family. Like, I know an addict when I see an addict. I know an addict that is bullshitting you. When I talked to Buff, I seen a genuine dude. And like, it's so crazy, because I would talk to my other wrestling people like, oh yeah, Buff, and they're like, yeah, he's a mess. Nah, he's like, he's turned that corner, and he's sincere about it. And I felt that. And I implore anybody that has not subscribed to the channel. He's a sincere guy that is here to try to inspire and take his story. But one of the things that really stood out, if you watched, I don't know if that was on Dark Side, but there was a documentary on it where he had the calf implants and almost lost his legs. Then, like, that is his name was Buff Bagwell. He's Buff Bagwell. He was the most vain, look at me guy. And for him to say, like, remember the calf implants, how vain I was about my legs, and now to have a leg amputated, that is like the biggest mind blown. And the way, I guess the biggest thing, because you could be like, oh, that's karma. But no, it's the way he's handling it. Right. And we've been talking, and I'm like, he's good. And you're like, yeah, no, he's like ready to do this. And you think that people just say that shit and hype themselves up or pretend. Like, he seems so genuine that, like, this is the right move. He's okay with it, and he's gonna move forward regardless, like, with a positive attitude. That, I think, that's a beautiful thing. And you being behind the scenes, I mean, it's all legit, yeah.
It's all legit. It's crazy in a lot of ways, because I would think if you took 100 people that were getting amputated, this would be the reaction or the mindset of one of those 100 people. And it's Buff Bagwell. He's nuts, but in like the best way possible, at least in 2025, he was vain. I mean, he still is vain. I mean, he's Buff. Let's be real. Everybody know he knows who he is. We know who he is. He's Buff Bagwell. He's gonna be through and through. but his mindset is absolutely incredible. I mean, it's inspiring for him to literally have to remove a limb and to be as positive as he's been, and also inspiring others. I mean, he's talked to other people who are going through similar things, and that's what he's trying to do at this stage, is try to help other people, which, is very different for, not that he was ever a jerk. He wasn't. I mean, he had his moments for sure, but he's thinking about other people, and it's just very cool to see. It's definitely inspiring.
Well, I think, like it's a blessing, and like connecting with you, who is like, and there's a lot of similarities with stuff I dealt with in my family with Buff, and just talking to him, I was like, that was a huge deal. But the fact that, he has owned it, and he has come out of this, and he has that positive attitude about it, and wants to help other people, and like set an example, like that's a beautiful blessing, man, to be around those type of people, because number one, overcoming addiction is crazy.
And that's one of those battles that never ends. And that's something that we're going to be talking about that in the coming weeks too, because obviously losing a limb, you're on pain medicine. Well, he has to regulate all that stuff, because his addiction was prescription pills. So it's very easy for him to get triggered, or for him to, start to want that again, because obviously he's in, extreme physical pain, getting a leg removed from his body. So there's that element to things too. But even knowing that going in, and having to deal with that now for the last couple of weeks, and we'll continue to have to deal with that, because there's, again, more surgeries coming. I think it's going to benefit a lot of people for him to be able to share what worked for him to get through this the way that he's getting through it.
I didn't even think about the whole pain medication, because that's usually a trigger back into that life, especially when you got every reason to be depressed or wanting to escape. Right. So you guys are addressing that coming up on the channel, and like, I'm sure you've spoken with him about it. Yep. I'm very interested in seeing that. What is
it's one of those things that, he's literally let two different camera crews essentially come into his life with this, because Maven came in for, just 2 days, but it was 2 days where they did, I think, a 22 or 25 minute, something like that, somewhere in that ballpark, long video. Zach and Maven filmed for probably about 10 hours. So there's, I mean, literally, like there was points where he was showing us how, like, he has to take a dump. Like, obviously, we're not going to put that on YouTube, but like, literally everything in his life is affected by this leg. Like, he couldn't even get down onto a toilet because, in certain situations, because his leg doesn't bend. And then how do you get up? You're getting up, clawing at whatever you can to get up. And it's just, he talks about, I think in Maven's video,
the car.
And in the car, he talks about how when he's booked places, and his fiance doesn't go with him, he has to sleep with his shoes on because he doesn't have somebody else to tie his like, just little things that you or I just don't even think of, is impacted by somebody that can't bend their leg.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of people, I mean, the beautiful thing about your channel and like you guys spreading the word and kind of telling this story is, when last year, I remember you guys kept saying, when's his award coming up? Like, because his leg was hurting and he didn't want to be standing around, but I didn't know. Right. I was like, oh, he looked good. He's got his brace on. You don't know what's under that pant leg and that brace. Like, he just wanted to get out there and go lay down, or, whatever, took some pressure off it. So you don't see that. And is there a chance that the bathroom incident that might end up on OnlyFans? Is there behind a paywall?
It's funny. At one point, he because we were talking about, like, when I think this was early on, we were talking about getting into figuring out like what social media to be on, and at one point he was like, "What's this OnlyFans?" I was like, "Yeah, no, I don't think that one's for you." And he's like, "Well, tell me about it. Like, what is that?" And he compared it to he's like, "Is it like Cameo?" I was like, "Yeah, it's like Cameo, but I think you have to show your butthole." Similar though.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, I don't think I'll do that one."
Right. Now, I love his attitude about this, and again, like, it just comes across as so sincere, and him, and like, I only fuck with good people. You good people, right. And like, we talk about it, so I know that you're like not messing with scumbags, and it's not, we're all a little bit crazy and got our own things.
We are.
I really like Buff's attitude, and I think that's an inspiration. He was an inspiration for me on the addiction thing, just like because I've seen people succumb to addiction, and even again, the amputation is like people. I was thinking, and I think the world that has seen this and heard this story is like, what would I do? How would I react if my leg? But the beautiful thing, I'm also realizing as we are advancing, those prosthetics are getting more and more advanced. You know, so I think that there's a good opportunity for him to you know, just walk and feel good. You know, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. And you guys are going to be capturing all that behind the scenes, that journey.
Every step of the way. Yep. So he'll have, I don't know. I think they have to kind of see how it goes because obviously there's a big healing process here. But the next surgery is there's two different options. There's a prosthetic that you basically strap onto yourself. And then there's one that's kind of like an implant where like it's kind of like a tooth implant where you click it into place. That obviously like they have to drill that into your bone and like it's much more invasive, I think. So they have to kind of figure out whether he's a candidate for that. I think that's literally like you click in your leg and you're good to go. But it's like an open wound on the inside there too. So there's a lot of complications that could arise from that. And he's obviously had a lot of complications over the last 5 years. So they have to go through that process, but we're going to take everybody on that ride on the channel, from doctor's visits and discussions and like weighing out the pros and cons, all that. He wants to be an open book, transparent. And, I think that's the best way. And I think he's really finding himself in this process by doing that.
Yeah, that's part of that growth, that evolution. Like when you know it's real, it's like you go through stuff and then you want it. When he did the thing for Scotty Riggs, and we talked about that, like especially when you're going through troubled times of your own, when you're able to step outside of yourself and want to help somebody else and be able to help somebody else, that helps you in your recovery, in your process, in your evolution. And I saw it. It's like he felt good that he was able to help somebody else that was doing worse than him because he was at rock bottom, you know?
Right.
Like,
I think that was the start of it in a lot of ways. You know, I know how he felt about doing that. And I don't think he realized at the time what he was doing. Because at his core, he's a good dude. You know, like there's times, you know, not that long ago, I have a YouTube channel, obviously, and that's my living. You know, I do the other stuff with Tessa and Buff on the side, but my living comes from my YouTube channel, and I got hacked. And when I was hacked, I literally basically just didn't have a job for like a full month while we were trying to figure that out. And Mark was the first one, like, called me up and was like, dude, what's going on? I want to know, like, I've got a half hour. Tell me exactly what's going on. How can I help you? Do you need money? Can I help? Like, literally to that level of, do you need money? Like, I will wire you money right now if you need money. And luckily it wasn't like that, but that's the type of dude that he is now. And it's really cool to see that. And I think the fact that he did have his struggles in the past, for those people that are dealing with struggles now, there's that relatability there. Whereas there's other people that have done amazing things. Dallas Page is one of them, but Dallas Page wasn't an addict. So there's that, I think there's that disconnect there for some people where it's like, well, you've never dealt with what I'm dealing with. With Buff, he's dealt with everything that you could possibly be dealing with, you know?
Yeah. No, he's an inspiration. And that's why I invite everybody to go to the channel, subscribe, and there's again that inspiring when you go through that, and you could tell through somebody when they've changed, like that selfishness goes away. Like you're not doing stuff to stroke your own ego. You're just doing it because that's who you become, and you can see it. Like a lot of people bullshit. Buff Bagwell, that's my guy. And I wish him all the best. Speedy, I don't know if it's Speedy. He's got a long road ahead, but I mean, with his head held high is the way he's going to get it done. And he's got a good circle. And he's got good people around him.
He does.
And I'm looking forward to watching that journey. So you guys go there and subscribe and check that out, and give Buff best wishes from Kayfabe Friends over here. And if he ever wants to get on and talk some spiritual next level shit, we'd love to have him on here.
For sure.
So you also mentioned that you are not messing with, but you are working with Tessa Blanchard over there at TNA Impact. And, you know, this is a new project. You're doing a lot behind the scenes. And moving with that. So you built a connection. You were at Slammiversary. That was this past weekend. You filmed some stuff over there. Kind of talk about what you're doing right now with Tessa and TNA.
So I met Tessa actually in your backyard in Vegas a couple months back, or now I guess it's been more than a couple months now. But we literally just got thrown. We were sitting in like a lounge at the hotel and just got thrown into a conversation. I obviously knew who she was. I saw her wrestle on the indies, over 10 years ago. So it goes back a long time. I knew who she was, but never had any. In fact, I was out there and I was thinking, I got to get out of wrestling because everybody in wrestling, these motherfuckers are crazy. I was like, you know what? I need to focus on my stuff and get out of this wrestling. Like, Buff's great. I'm going to keep working with Buff, but everybody else, fuck them. I'm done. And we clicked and we texted a little bit after that. I went back to Connecticut. She went back to Mexico, and we kept in touch, and we just started bouncing ideas off each other and just, again, instantly clicked to the point where like she's one of my closest friends now. And it's cool to see that evolve so quickly. But we started in Arizona outside Phoenix. We started the channel there. We did some just kind of throwing stuff at the wall to see what people were interested in. So we did some like, what are the top 5, finishers and stuff like that. And then we did vlog style behind the scenes stuff. And that's where people seem to really gravitate towards us. So we've been doing that ever since. We did a behind the scenes video in Pittsburgh on the next loop. We just did the same thing with Slammiversary that came out tonight, actually. And it seems to be doing well so far. So yeah, we're still in that stage of like figuring out what the audience wants and how we can kind of, my goal was I wanted to highlight her as the person behind, the heel we all see on TV, because she's been a heel forever and people don't really get to see like how awesome of a person she is. So this channel kind of shows all of that, but also takes people on, backstage sort of ride through, what's going on behind the scenes in some cases, or just kind of what she's into, what her take is on different things. It's, we're still figuring it all out, but it's been an absolute blast. And creatively for me, it's been that kind of that motivation to like keep me inspired, because everything in my world on YouTube is very rinse and repeat. I do a lot of product videos. I work with a lot of different brands and companies, but it's the same sort of process over and over and over again, which is great for revenue and stuff. But, I always want that challenge to move forward. And this has definitely been that.
No, it's a huge opportunity, and I've always been a fan of Tessa Blanchard, and I think
she's one of the best female wrestlers out there, not just current. I mean, from a technical standpoint, she's by far one of the best.
Yeah, one of the GOATs, and I think there's so much more in the tank and so much more for her to accomplish, and. Some people have opinions, but that's why I say and I love what you're doing, is this channel is like showing you Tessa behind the scenes. You're going to see, like, get to know her. And like, regardless of anything, once you get to know somebody, you get to know them at their core. It's like, is this a good person or not? And, I trust you on that. And so far, the content I've been seeing is amazing. You guys were just at Slammiversary. They had the all-star or a little celebrity charity softball game as well.
Yep,
So
day before. Yep.
A lot of cool stuff. How was that softball game? Who was it? Was it just TNA or?
It was like a softball league, local league, and they were raising money for like the kids that were partaking in the little league in that area. So it was TNA versus like all the coaches of that little league organization. So it was cool. I'm not sure who won. I think TNA might have won, but they did have Johnny Damon on their team, so I think that helped.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was cool. They had Matt and Jeff pitching, and I think Jeff was pitching to the wrong side of people for a part of the game, but they it was interesting. It was fun. Everybody was having a good time.
Yeah, I wanted to get out there, and you should have just told me to go, but you were like, yeah, whatever, dude.
Well, it's
like, I should have went.
You should have went. Yeah, it ended up being really cool, but it's tough on the loops because you never know what creative has in store for the different talent, members of talent and stuff. So sometimes they're just go with filming backstage segments, doing, especially on like a typical loop where, they're filming for multiple weeks of TV. different wrestlers may have 2 or 3 matches in the same night. So it can be a lot of craziness. And then sometimes it could be a lot of downtime too. You just never really know what you're walking into.
Yeah. And it seemed like for Slammiversary, it seemed like a packed house. Like the crowd was like jacked
crazy,
for it. Yeah. It was good stuff. And where were you? Were you backstage, or you were in the crowd somewhere?
So I was backstage for most of it, and it's cool. They have because you have the ramp, and then you have the side of the ramp, and they have like a little section that you can't see on TV where different people from behind the scenes can kind of hang out and watch the show. You're not up close and personal, but you're a little bit further back, and it's a cool view. And for like the ladder match, I went out and just found like an empty seat because I wanted to watch that as a fan, and it was an incredible match. If you haven't seen that, you got to check it out. AJ Francis had a crazy bump through the ladders on the side that were kind of mounted to the side of the ring. There's some craziness in there, and then of course Bubba came out and announced that him and Devon are coming back out, which will be at Bound for Glory one last match outside of Boston, which is cool because that's literally like right up the road from me as well. I'm right between Boston. That's going to be October, the week of the 20th, somewhere in there.
I'm going to Boston for a shoot. I think it's lining up, man. I think we'll be there. Like, and as some of and I want to thank you too, is like introducing me to some of your people there, and you know, I'm trying to get this Kayfabe Friends media thing to the next level. So inner working. So we're gonna be doing a lot of. Well, you're doing a lot of stuff. I'm trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing, but we're gonna be making some moves, and that's just how we keep it moving. So check out what is it, Tessa Blanchard.
Tessa Blanchard on YouTube. She'll pop right up.
Yeah, it's good stuff. What kind of stuff you got coming up, man?
So I'm trying to just deal with the update videos with Buff. He's going to be up here in Connecticut in September, so we're going to film a little bit. I think like one day that we overlap in my state, and then Tessa and I are doing some stuff in Texas. We've got Minneapolis, we've got Boston, we've got Vegas coming up as well. So we're kind of on the road, just kind of going wherever we can go. It's just trying to straddle between 3 major projects at the same time. I have the studio in Connecticut where I do all my stuff. So it's like, this is home base, and I'll go to Atlanta, film with Buff, or wherever he is on the road. Sometimes we don't travel too much these days, obviously, but and then with Tessa, it's like usually I try to do at least a couple days every month with her on whatever TNA loop she's on. And TNA has been super accommodating to everything that we've done backstage in their buildings. We just have to get them to approve videos that have talent in them or that are filmed in the venue, but they've been amazing to deal with.
Yeah, no, that's dope. And I think that there's a lot of talk. Speaking of TNA, and there's a lot of talk about with the WWE and TKO being involved now. Have you heard any insights or rumblings? Like, what is the temperature over there? Like, have things changed for the better? Is it different? You look at the championships, like everything's going to NXT wrestlers, which is a little weird, but
they're kind of exchanging talent, it seems. I don't know. On one hand, I feel like they kind of got their pocket picked, right? Like, it's WWE NXT people that have their titles right now, and they're taking them to WWE programming. But it's also, I walk into UBS Arena in New York to, over almost 8,000 people in the place. I mean, TNA's never done that before. So it's obviously working. I can't question their logic behind it. I think that those NXT people that have the TNA belts, they're essentially TNA talent. They're there for all the tapings. They're there for all the events. So it's definitely it's working. I didn't think it would. I mean, I was like, wait, so Trick Williams is your NXT champion, but he's a WWE guy? Like, that can't be good, but it clearly is. It's moving the needle for him. So
yeah, I think it puts more eyes on the product, I think it just the people, because I was never a huge TNA fan. Like, it just even when Hogan went there, I was like, I couldn't watch. I watched maybe the first time he showed up, and then was like, I can't do this again. And then
I remember buying when he and Sting wrestled each other, and I was like, I don't think Hogan took a bump in that match. I think it was all just all just strikes, and I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to watch this, but if you go back, there is some amazing stuff from AJ Styles, who came back at UBS Arena at Slammiversary. There's Samoa Joe. Kurt Angle had a hell of a run over there. I mean, Sting was doing his thing. Scott Steiner.
Oh yeah.
There was some good stuff in there, but sometimes it got overshadowed by some of the other things going on.
Yeah, I don't doubt that there was some good shit happening.
Yeah.
I think it was just the production of it, the Dixie Carter, the whole like it was all kind of like spin off of WCW storyline.
It was WCW 2.0. I mean, yeah, you had a lot of the same people behind the scenes, a lot of the same writers. To this day, you have some of those people still behind the scenes over there. But I think they've got a really good staff over there right now. Great writers, great production. So I really think that there's a in the next year they could pass AEW.
You know? I could see that. I think that they're moving in the right direction. If WWE doesn't just buy them, or TKO doesn't buy them.
Well, I think that that could happen because you got to look at the library, right? The library is worth money to WWE, and it's insane to think of what WWE got WCW for. So, what was it like $2.6 million? I mean, it's insane that it was that cheap for, all the stuff back in the day. Starrcade, Halloween Havoc, like 2.6 million. You got all the rosters, you got the production team, you got the library too. Like it's insane.
I think there would have to be like I could sell that library for more on eBay than what WWE paid for.
But when you learn about like what was going on behind the scenes and how like Eric was going to buy the company for like 60 million and then Vince got it for 2.6. Like we know what Vince was paying for other things, and he was paying more for that than he paid for WCW. So
allegedly, maybe it's
well, he wasn't paying for it. Otherwise we wouldn't know about it. He should have just paid that.
Right.
That's cut all that out.
But yeah, I definitely started like I got my eyes on TNA and been watching the product, and I was talking to your girl Victoria Crawford there, and she was getting caught up on everything, and I was like, yeah, I'm figuring out what's going on there as well. But again, there's so much wrestling out there
everywhere, every day of the week, it seems.
Yeah, and it's like you just gotta focus. I don't know. It's hard to focus on everything going on, especially doing wrestling media. It's like cover everything.
Now they're trying to do everything at the same time, right? AEW and WWE are like a day apart, or even sometimes the exact same night. They did some Saturday Night Main Event was the same night
that whole weekend, and the Sunday.
It's too much,
Right, and it's like, who do you want to watch? What do you want to see? And give me a hell of a show. And so, as I talked at the top of the show, is like we did one podcast after WrestleMania, and at some point I'll talk about how all that shit unfolded. But wrestling, I was kind of like, after that Travis Scott at WrestleMania, I was like, what the fuck is this shit? And the Monday after, and it's like, where are we going with this? And I just haven't been over the moon with what's going on at WWE.
Nor have I. No.
Every week it's like start conversation. It could be Seth Rollins and his crew, whatever, and then that's it. They'll talk, then come out. Then it's like 12 women's matches now, and then Adam Pearce comes out and makes a match. It's like everybody's making their own matches now. There's nothing planned. It's like everything. Tonight you're gonna fight. Oh, you know what? Now that you bumped into this person tonight, it's like, how do you run a business like this? Like you don't have a card already scheduled for the night, and it's the same loop, and there's nothing like, is there anything going on right now except the OTC, our tribal chief, just came back? What are you excited about this happening in WWE at the moment?
Not a damn thing. And it sucks to say that, but I'm watching TNA closer now. There's great talent at AEW, but I think their issue is what they have going on is they have great pay-per-views, and they seem to do great pay-per-view numbers. Where they seem to have a disconnect is nobody watches in between those pay-per-views, and I'm guilty of that too. I'll watch the pay-per-views, or even if I can't watch it live, I'll watch the recap or the highlights or whatever. I'll keep up with that, but they're not doing anything to like grip people into like, okay, what's going to happen on Wednesday night now? What's going to happen, on programming? There's just so much going on there where I don't think that they're hooking people in for that stuff. So people just watch pay-per-view to pay-per-view. So I'm watching more TNA. I think they have a upward trajectory ahead of them. WWE's just gotten stale, and where they lost me was before WrestleMania when you had Rock come out and then immediately do the press conference breaking character with the whole Cena thing. I was just like, this, you created this huge moment. You created something that people are going to watch closely. And then you just popped the air out of the balloon when Rock came out and just started, like, he pulled the curtain back and was just talking like Dwayne Johnson. It's like, we understand that, this is a business and this is entertainment and the action, right? The actions in the ring are not, the true actions of the individual, but it's like, you can't come out and just like, talk shop in front of the world moments after
a big angle.
Right. It just, to me, it's just like, oh man, like I was literally at that moment, I'm like, this is the greatest thing. Seen as a heel, Travis Scott, just socked Cody in the face. Like, people are on the edge of their seats, and then you just let the air out of it completely. And I haven't got back into it since.
Yeah, 100. That was so tough, and I like the fan in me, the kayfabe, the swerve them made me think. And the way The Rock always says, just sit back and enjoy the ride. The Rock's taking you on, and I was like, okay, we gotta wait. Right. They know what they're doing. They know what
nothing
they're
happened.
Doing. Nothing. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a letdown. And then, people take time off, they slow things down, usually after WrestleMania. And I was just like,
Goldberg came back though.
Oh my God. That's your guy, yeah?
No. Well, oh my God, yeah, because I won't say that. I won't tell that story.
You got. Do I know this story?
You were on this live stream with me and Goldberg, right?
Yeah, but what did he do? Which part?
No, he was nice to me on the live stream. We had good interactions on live stream. So
did you want to see that last match?
Not at all. So I think that his last match should have been against Dolph Ziggler. That was a true squash match. Ziggler sold everything perfectly. It was about 30 seconds long. That's how he should have gone out. I see a lot of people did like the whole Gunther match at Saturday Night Main Event. I didn't. I thought that it was.
You said people liked it?
I've seen people say that they liked it. I think Buff liked it. I was like, not me.
Yeah, I don't think it was needed.
It wasn't. It wasn't, and to also do it like, I don't know. I just didn't feel like there was good chemistry between the two of them. It's just, I don't know. It's not the way to go out, in my opinion.
I've never been like and I'll say this, I'll rip on people and talk shit. That's as a fan. As somebody that loves this business, I respect everybody that steps in the ring and has done anything and like made some magic moments. But as a fan, I was never a Goldberg guy. When they announced this, it was like, I don't give a shit. Like when he beat Hogan, in Atlanta, I was like, this cocksucker. I don't like him. I don't like fucking Goldberg. Like, Hogan's my guy. And like for him to come out and like, you're next, like, get the fuck out of here. Like you're done. All due respect. All due respect. We don't need to see that. So, I mean,
he had his time. He did a lot. He did a lot of numbers for WCW. If you just look at what I think he came in at like a $20,000 salary, and within 2 years he was making like $6 million. Oh yeah. I mean, hats off to him. Nobody else could do it. He's definitely he's a great businessman and he's done very well. But as far as him wrestling in 2025, I don't think it's needed. Yeah, and I didn't think it was a good look, and him being pissed off afterwards. Is not a good look either.
He got a paycheck.
Right.
He got some shine. He got some time. It wasn't needed at all. I could tell you on that Saturday night's main event, I wanted to see, what was it? Solo versus Fatu. I just wanted to see Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu's my guy. So, and I was like, oh yeah, the Goldberg match is still coming up. I didn't give a shit.
No.
Like, I didn't think he was gonna win. I hoped he didn't win, and so long. So long, buddy. Is that fair to say?
I think it's fair. I think it's fair to say, yeah.
But
I mean, he wanted, everything at the end. He wanted a big farewell speech and all that. He got it. He got a little moment there, but it's NBC. It's cable TV, right? Like, they're not gonna, when it's time for that next show to come on, that next show's coming on. So
that was the first thing I thought. It's like, what did he want him to do? Just like, Goldberg's talking, hang on, let's push everything. Like, they don't do that on many channels or networks. So I didn't think anything of it when they cut it off. I was like, yeah, they got to get out of there. No. And then I heard all the rumblings of, this and that. It's like, whatever, get over it.
The entrance started like 45 minutes to go, but they did have those long commercials on there. But that's how they're paying for that, right? It's free for everybody. So,
and wrestling is like when you're a wrestler, it's like, this is how much time you got. This is,
well, maybe if your entrance wasn't 15 minutes long, you get a little more time to talk at the end.
Yeah. You got to walk out and blow steam and all kinds of shit. Just get to the fucking ring. You want to talk? You want to talk? And you want to blow steam? Out your nose. Right? So I don't know. It just, so the whole WWE thing is, I'm telling you, I go through periods like this with wrestling where I'm just like, every week, like, bloodline shit had me back. Like, let's go. Something new. Like, who's getting added? Now it's just watered down and it's like recycled, all this shit. But I think we all go through that as fans. It's like, we're still watching. I still watch it. I may fast forward through shit, but we're still watching, and they're having good matches. Physical matches. A lot of the women's
talents through the roof. Yeah,
it's just stories. I'm a story
carries
guy.
It all. Yeah, no, me too. And if you go back to the 90s, right, when we were switching back between Raw and Nitro, it was the storyline. And now it's funny. I watched more WCW back then than I'd like to admit, because if you go back now, it's like, okay, clearly WWF, in my opinion, anyways, now was the better product, but they had the stories. Whereas WCW, I felt like, what was the storyline? It was
NWO,
200 members of NWO coming out. Yeah, exactly. That was
it.
It was cool. It was cool. And
I loved that time, man.
Do you watch? Do you follow like Fourth Rope or anything going on there? Because they just came into TNA now.
Yeah, I saw that their invasion angle. I guess I saw Zilla Fatu was in the building over there. Yeah, I mean, are they on TV? Or YouTube, I guess, maybe, or.
So they did the pre-show, which I didn't realize it was just going to be the pre-show. But you had Zilla, you had Enzo, and
was that the pre-show?
It was, yeah.
I thought that was on the main card.
Well, okay. It's all the same for me in the building, but I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure it was the pre-show, because I think that was the second or third match.
Interesting.
I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. It might have been the first match on the.
You heard it here. We're quoting them. Chase Brogan.
But I have to go back and watch that, because I didn't catch all of it. Like, I saw them kind of going through stuff beforehand, but didn't see all of the match because I think we were filming in the back around that same time. But they have a cool vibe to them at Fourth Rope with Smoke Dizza and West Side. I mean, they got some money to spend too. So I'm interested to see what they put together with that, whether it's a long-term collab with TNA or they go off and do their own thing. But they definitely got some cool stuff going on. I wouldn't use Enzo in the spot that they're using him. I think that Enzo would be a great like hype man, a good guy on like the side, but not the main dude, the main force behind it.
Yeah, I think in terms of a name, and like his mouthpiece was ridiculous.
Oh yeah,
at WWE.
One of the best, and merch sales through the roof. But he reminds me of a Buff Bagwell, where Buff was known for being Steiner's guy, right? He came out with NWO. He looked great. He was good on the mic, but he wasn't that guy that they put out there in the ring in a big way.
Mm-hmm.
So I see that. Yeah, I see that for Enzo, where he could be that mouthpiece for a big faction.
Well, maybe that's it for fourth wall mouthpiece. A cup of haters. Yeah.
I mean, the crowd pops for him. I'll give him that for sure.
Yeah, he's out there. He's different. I applaud him. But yeah, I definitely want to follow Fourth Rope. And NJ Holiday, my cohort, he was out there mixing it up with them. That's why he dissed me WrestleMania. He's in the box with these guys. He don't even call me. I'm sitting in the nosebleeds on night 2. NJ's over there partying it up, having a buffet with Fourth Wall. What an asshole. That's why he's been banned from the show, suspended. He's been suspended for 90 days until he gets his act together.
I got you.
So there's that. Well, good stuff with TNA, and I'm gonna start following that. We got I want to talk about CAC real quick. The CAC reunion. We are like less than a month away from the Cauliflower Alley Club 59th annual reunion. It's going down live here in Las Vegas at the Plaza Hotel and Casino, August 18th through the 20th. That's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're kicking it off that Sunday with On the Fly, which is this is you love wrestling, we love wrestling. It blows my mind. Like, as much as I know behind the scenes about wrestling, it blows my mind to see how they call it in the ring. How they can just go in there and pull off a match. Like, I'm thinking, like, my brain's all over the place. Like, what are you doing? And how does this mean do that? And you do this? And how are you talking? This show
it's an art. It's an art to be able to do that.
Yeah. It's crazy. And it's like somebody explained it to me as it's like dance routine, this spot, and goes, which, okay, you already lost me there. But Sunday show On the Fly, presented by Super Beast and Sin Bodhi. It's essentially all the wrestlers. They can come up, they sign up, and they're sitting around the ring. And then you got legends. Last year was B. Brian Blair. We had Joe Malenko. We had The Rock's mom there. And they picked 2 competitors out of there, and they just got to go in the ring and wrestle in front of this crowd. Don't know who they're going to wrestle. Don't know if they just got to be ready and go in there. And I could tell you the matches last year, we filmed the whole thing, and it was pretty flawless. Like, they had it was pretty stacked with talent that knew what they were doing in that ring. And we're running it back on Sunday the 17th here at the Plaza. Free show, open to the public. Come on down, check it out, and be a part of that. But then we get into the Cauliflower Alley Club reunion, which starts on Monday with the roast of Mick Foley.
That's gonna be good. That's gonna be really good.
Yeah, this is the first time, like, it came together. We got a call. Somebody in the comedy world said, what do you guys think about doing a roast? And so we've been doing the inner workings, putting that together. And I was like, I'm a little skeptical at times. I didn't see it coming together, but it came together. And Mick Foley will be roasted on Monday nights. That is open. You don't have to be a member to go to this, but if you are a member, tickets are discounted, and it's available at caulifloweralleyclub.org. And then you got Tuesday and Wednesday, the award dinners, the ceremonies where we give flowers to those that have given so much to this business. Chase, you were there last year. Your impression on Cauliflower Alley Club?
It's a great organization, great camaraderie, great ability to just be in the room with so many legends that are just sharing stories, conversing with themselves, but also with fans as well. It was really cool. Last year you had the Dudley Boys there, and now a year later you have them coming out of retirement, which is really cool. You had Buff there, you had Sting there, you had Kurt Angle there. There's so many, huge names there. And I know this year you got just as many. So it's a blast. It's a cool vibe. And the Plaza is incredible. I actually just stayed at the Plaza when I was out there again back in January when I saw you. I stayed there.
Okay. Was that? Oh, okay. Yeah. When you were out here before WrestleMania.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So at the Plaza Hotel, and there's discounted rates there, but there's a bunch of hotels down there. It is good times. We got the GOAT. I know we talked about Tessa Blanchard earlier, but the GOAT women's wrestler, who I'll be doing an interview next week, Natty Neidhart. She will be there accepting the Lou Thez Award. And this is the first time a female has ever won. Let me clarify this, because I had somebody, once I posted the graphic for it, the first female to ever win the Lou Thez Award from the Cauliflower Alley Club. Some hater, some nerd, some mark, some idiot, some clown messaged me and was like, she's not, take that down. Whoop-de-whoop won. I said, don't talk to me, kid. Don't talk to me, all right? Because she is. I do my homework. So the first female to ever receive the Luthez Wrestling Award from the Cauliflower Alley Club, Natalia Natty Neidhart, will be in the building accepting that award. I'm excited. Like, she's doing some amazing work. If you have you seen the stuff she's been doing lately?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who she just wrestled a couple days ago? Who did she wrestle?
Which on WWE?
No. It was something else.
So NWA, she was in the Bloodsport out here, and
that's what it was. That's Bloodsport.
And you see a different side of her, and
it's different style altogether. It's incredible, and she's doing great things. Always has, but she's doing some really cool stuff right now. It feels like she's getting her freedom to branch out a little bit.
Yeah, and I love it. I absolutely love it. We're all seeing a different side. She says, Natalia, no, this is Natty who is doing a thing, and you can't forget, born and bred in the dungeon. I mean, come on, like that's the stomping grounds of like legends. But this attitude, she's got the book coming out in October. She's got a lot of things moving, and I know she was on a podcast talking about she renegotiated a contract. Should I stay? Should I go? But work certain things where she can have this freedom to do and explore. So that's why you see her with the NWA and with Bloodsport and doing different things. She's got, and she just did the over at Booker T's with
that's what it was. Yep.
Yeah. Reality
wrestling. Yep.
So she's making moves. We're seeing a different side, and like I could almost say she's like, I've always respected and loved Natty.
Yeah, for
this is like different, and she's looking bad. Like, okay, she had glowed up for real. Like, she always been pretty and bad, but like she really doing it. Like, she's just evolving into the best version of herself, and I love seeing that. And I'm excited that we're going to be honoring her at the Cauliflower Alley Club 59th reunion going down August 18th through the 20th. And I this week I got to put together her award video, so I'm looking forward to doing that, and I'm really going to honor her and give her flowers. But we also got the hardcore legend Mick Foley, who he's getting the Iron Mike Mazurki Award, which is, not only, first we're going to roast him, and then we're going to give him an award, which it's just going to be a good time. If you come out, and that's where we met. Like, we had, where are you going to run into people? Okay, everybody's got kind of the same passion, same connection, and you click up with people. So if you haven't become a member of the Cauliflower Alley Club, and a lot of people think, oh yeah, newsflash, we're doing a documentary. We just signed the contract on that to do a documentary on the Cauliflower Alley Club. And the guys who were shooting the documentary, I said, are you guys members? They were like, no, we'd love to be. Like, do you guys vote for us to get in? Nah, you just got to pay for the membership. It's $35 for a year and $400 for a lifetime, and you're in the club. And you're talking about lifetime members like The Rock, Roddy Piper, Paul Orndorff. This is a club. It's not an exclusive club, members only. You could be a part of this. And as you know, 100% what we do is all that money goes to helping injured wrestlers. Yeah. People in the business that have given so much. And it's crazy being on the board. And I'm just going to a little behind the scenes. Since last year's reunion in August, we have given away over $100,000 in benevolent requests, to wrestlers and people in the industry that maybe needed help paying their mortgage, hospital bills, phone bills. Wendy Richter just had a situation. We got a fundraiser. You remember Wendy Richter? Yeah. Okay. Icon. She just, her house flooded, sent money for that. We're doing a fundraiser through our website on that.
I know you did a lot for Brian Knobs. He's been going through,
Brian Knobs stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's what this organization is about. So people think it's just, we get together and we have this event. All the funds is for that. It's to spread awareness. It's to honor wrestling. We honored Buff last year. People get their flowers because we respect it, and we're all industry people. But you, as a fan, even if you're not in the business, come up there, come to the awards dinner. dress up, dress up, put on a little suit or something, get up in there and like have a dinner, listen to the speech, mingle, network, make some new friends. Cauliflower Alley Club reunion. It's going down. You can go to caulifloweralleyclub.org and get you some tickets. I'm telling you, people are like, what do I get? Or what do I get for this? It's about what you give. This is a nonprofit organization.
Yeah. No, you get experiences and memories out of that because we had a blast. We were down there with you guys, I think two or 3 days last year.
Yeah.
And you still do like the little fan fest thing?
Yeah. Well, so yeah. So, but it's almost different than a fan fest. It's the kind of like, you can mingle and it's like,
well, people can get they can meet people. They can get signatures, all that good stuff.
Yeah, and we got the cornhole. I just got the cornhole game branded. It's looking dope. We got the Kayfabe Arcade brought to you by Kayfabe Friends. So we're bringing out the PS5, and we got games so you can play 2K25 on there. We got Fight Forever, AEW, and then I think Chase is bringing one of his consoles.
Why not?
You should fly that one out and just donate it to CAC, man. I'll keep it here at the house. He's got some dope consoles. He sent me a picture. What was the one with was it Nitro or like NWO? Like that shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll send you a picture. You can put it up on here. Yeah, it's split. I'll send you the real thing. Yeah, one side's WCW, so you got your man Goldberg over there, but then you got the NWO side, so you got Hall, Nash. I had to put Buff on the front too. So yeah, the front is like a blend of like flares on there. Yeah, it's pretty sick, man.
Yeah, it's dope, and you don't even play it.
Well, I got another. They just sent me another one here. That's a big one. So I got 4 big arcade cabinets, and then I got one that's in the garage at home too. So I don't play it. When it becomes your work, it's like you don't have time to play anything.
That sounds like gluttony, man. What is what's the new one?
I have one is Gauntlet Legends, which was like a arcade game in the late 90s. One of my favorite games. So I got that here. I got the WCW NWO one.
With the ostrich.
Yeah.
Didn't they ride an ostrich?
I think that was like There was like
Didn't they ride an ostrich? Gauntlet? Was that it? Am I thinking of the wrong?
Ostrich?
Where they have the joust and they fly on an ostrich?
Nah, you got a different one. But there are like secret characters that are weird like that. They had like a chicken that like breathes fire and like all types of shit. But then at home I got the WrestleMania one. Did I send you that one?
You sent me the one with the NWO. Oh, okay. I think I seen that one first. You had that one first, yeah?
Yeah, WCW NWO I had first. I got a WrestleMania one at home. I'll send you pictures of that.
Send me pictures, yeah. I'll put them on my wall. That's a joke, man. I need one of them things.
I tried to get that into the studio here. We couldn't get it up the stairs, so I had to take it at home. And now it just sits in my garage, which kind of sucks because I can't even get it in my house. It's so damn big.
It sounds like you need to get rid of that thing. The WrestleMania one?
If you were down the road, I'd just wheel it over. It's on wheels. Like, I don't know how much it would cost to ship it across the country, but
I flew to Boston for a 12-pack of Hulk Hogan beer. I will fly out there and I'll walk
we'll come to Bound for Glory in Boston. You could make the 2-hour drive down here and we're good to go.
There we go. All right, you heard it here, man. He's a man of his word. Yeah, so that's dope. Cauliflower Alley Club. Are you coming? I'm gonna
try. I don't know the schedule yet, but I would like to come out and film with Tessa. That would be cool.
Yeah, is she coming? Or is that dependent on?
It's dependent on a few things she's got going on. So we'll have to figure it out.
But if she comes, are you coming?
If she vice versa, I'll go. Yeah. Yeah. Because then I can write it off.
Oh yeah. True that. Is Buff coming back?
I don't know if he can travel right now because I don't know when his next surgery is going to be.
Yeah.
He's kind of laying low. I know he's doing stuff like local in his area around Atlanta and stuff like that because he doesn't have to stay over or do any of that. But he's going to be up here in Connecticut in September. But I don't know if he's doing anything before that, like further away.
All right. Well, you give all the well wishes to Buff. I think let me just check my notes here. I think we got everything. I think we got everything covered, man. This is a good back in the game episode
for sure.
Chase Brogan, Do we want to talk about that? Yeah, maybe. Jacob Fatu, man. Like, let's just talk about that news real quick. We can get maybe a sound bite out of this, but
Sure.
he dropped the song Hello. Have you heard it? Him and Rikishi.
I have not heard it. I've not heard it.
Okay.
I love Rikishi though. Good dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's your guy. You spent what was it? Royal Rumble?
Royal Rumble, yeah.
Yeah, when Jay won the Royal Rumble, you were right there.
I was with Rikishi, Chavo. Who else was there? Anderson, and Buff, yeah, and Mark Henry.
Mark Henry.
Yeah,
Mark Henry.
That was. I'll never forget that for sure. And that was when Jay won.
Yeah. Big stuff. Speaking of Jay, what's going on with that? Is it a thing? Is it not a thing? Is it like, has his time? Like, what's going on? I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I don't know. It's a wild time in general for WWE.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if they're coming or going right now. It's kind of crazy.
Well, what is I could tell you, I'm already locked in for Survivor Series, November, Petco Park, San Diego. That I'm looking forward to. I don't know. I mean, they got the War Games. San Diego. I'm looking for. I don't know if it's the wrestling show or San Diego, but
the city. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that
War Games is always cool, though. I mean, it's a little bit of a gimmick, but it is cool. It is cool to have the double ring.
It used to be cool in WCW.
Yeah.
When it was like, okay, let's go.
Well, that was one of their things that only they had, right? They didn't have the Royal Rumble like WWF had back then, so that was like their one and only things. So it was really cool. I feel like they did some cool stuff with NXT with that, and then
the War Games,
and then there were a couple of years where it was like they didn't really use it, or it just didn't feel special, you know?
Right. Well, my thing is if you're gonna do a cage, somebody better bleed and be hemorrhaging and doing, there's got to be a lot of blood loss. And
I felt like they were going that direction for a while, and then they seem to just kind of like just do away with it again. And that's the cool thing I think with AEW is like those motherfuckers will bleed over there. Like they'll get ECW and over at AEW.
I think it's overkill though. I think
with the stuff that like Moxley did with like what did he put into his back, the friggin' nails or what, like nail. Yes.
Like Swerve drinking the blood and
well, all that's too much. You're right.
Well, I think it's just maybe it's not like it's good for pop, but if every show somebody's cut open and like just like then it's like
balance. You gotta balance it out.
Yeah. Make it special, right?
Right.
So I mean that's just my take, but WWE is on some shit. I don't know what they can do right now that's gonna get me excited. I don't think it's anybody coming back. OTC came back and they immediately put them in a tag team. I don't like tag team matches that ain't about shit. It's like it's just to see the two guys tag together and do some stuff. I need some story behind it.
There's no big tag team. Like when you think back to like when I watched tag teams, was like the Road Warriors were a spectacle. You know, like even the Nasty Boys, who weren't like technical wrestlers, but
they were a tag team.
They were a legitimate tag team. Heart Foundation, you know,
Killer Bees.
Yeah. There's so many that were like a true tag team, and that's WWE doesn't really have that, right? Like who's a really good WWE tag team right now?
Yeah, no, and I think that
that are like a complete unit, and that's I think TNA. You got the Hardy Boys there, right? Which they're getting old, but the fucking Hardys are the Hardys. You know, like,
they're a team.
Like,
they're good. They're good. Yeah, I think the tag team division for WWE is just put this guy with this guy for a little bit and then break them up.
Right.
Put this guy with this or this girl with this girl, and it's like, it doesn't mean nothing. They're not going to keep it.
Doesn't.
Like there's a science and an art to tag team wrestling that you get that through numerous reps. Continually doing your thing together in this synchronization of things, and it's like, they work well together. Like their finisher, this move bounces off. It's synchronized swimming for wrestling when you're a true tag team. If you're just in there, you can do a couple cool spots. But I wasn't always a huge fan of wrestling or tag team wrestling, but you could tell the teams that like were a team. Now, it's like don't even have tag teams. If I missed that.
There's nobody. There's nobody right now.
Just there's maybe one legitimate tag team.
I'll put TNA over with that. They got the Rascals, which are doing their thing. They're great. The Nemeths are good. I mean, I'm always been a big fan of Nick Dolph. I mean, he's incredible. I think he was. Yeah. I think he was underrated in WWE, and it's cool to see him in that top spot. But WWE doesn't really have that. Even AEW, who do they really have for tags right now?
I don't know. I have not watched AEW. They gave me a cold shoulder on the email I sent. They may not have even got it, but I was in my feelings. Was like, all right, fuck AEW, but I got to reach back out. So I always enjoy going to the show and going to the media scrums and built some good relationships there. So they probably just missed one of my emails. And I just
could be.
There's just so much wrestling going on, and it's like hard to watch it. And I'm working and doing all kinds of shit, and it's like, I don't know. But yeah, I want to get back on AEW, especially now that WWE is like really not doing shit. I'm just fast forwarding through that show. And but the Jacob Fatu, and this is just new, this is old news. I've been out the game for, like I say, what is it, 2 months, couple 3 months?
Couple months, yeah.
He dropped the single Hello, and dope song. I was like, he got spits. But he drops the N-bomb. He's rapping. Like, come on. And controversy. Jacob Fatu under
why though? So I'm clearly white, so I know that we're not saying that, but my understanding was everybody else is fair game, right?
It's good. Yeah. I don't know who had a problem with it. I think just the wrestling media, and I was gonna get on and say some shit just at the wrestling media, because I think they were making, like, who said it was a fucking problem. And then you see the comment was like, he couldn't. We did an interview with Jacob Fatu that we can't even put out because he was dropping it. And I just understood the nature of the internet and what they would say. And it's like, if I saw Jacob Fatu in the Bay, we're just gonna chop it. That's how we're talking. Yeah, not a thing. Nobody's gonna say shit. Right. But you get somebody who is making moves, and every little thing is like, oh no, you can't say that.
Well, I think they're trying to make it controversial when it doesn't need to be. I mean, it's views, it's clickbait, it's all this bullshit, that doesn't have to be, because the world shouldn't revolve around that stuff. I think it's the media that's causing problems, and we're part of that media, right? In a lot of ways. But I don't do shit like that. You don't do shit like that. So I think the media just needs to step it up and get their shit together.
Yeah, I think it's called integrity, and it's like, that's not news. Like I said, I could have dropped this, and like I dropped it. I dropped this interview, and that shit was probably my highest performing TikTok ever. Like, that shit was going viral. But then when I look back and I started reading the comments, that was the narrative. So I took it down. It was like, that's not, like, this guy just got put on. That's people. We don't even need that out there. And of course, some people clip some parts of it, but me as wrestling media and love for this business is like, let's put a spotlight on what's good and not distract with some stupid ass bullshit.
Right.
So that's what you get here at Kayfabe Friends, is the real deal.
That's right.
Keep it 100, man. Integrity. So always and forever. So Kayfabe Friends, man, thank you. This is going to be a thing. So I hope strap in, man, because we're going for a ride here.
I'm in.
With this deal. We're back. And anything, like, how can people reach out, get a hold, check out what you got going on? I know we've mentioned it, but
yeah. So my channel's Chase Brogan, at Chase Brogan on YouTube. I'm in the tech and gaming space there, but then I produce Tessa's channel, Tessa Blanchard on YouTube, and then Marcus Buff Bagwell on YouTube, and that's the whole team.
Yeah, and just getting started. Yeah, who's next?
Man, I'm done. Goldberg. Man, I'm done. Goldberg. No, he told me lose his number, and I did. So no,
did
Goldberg. He did.
Did he? He did. Tell me that story. Okay, so you did there was for Brian Knobs, they did on Buff.
You were part of it, yeah.
Yeah. I was. Well, I'm telling the people here that
Okay.
checking it out. Did a live stream benefit to raise money for Brian Knobs, and I don't know why this thing didn't go stupid viral, because it was Sting, it was Goldberg, it was Booker T, it was Maven, it was Chavo, it was
Mark Merrow came
DDP.
out. DDP, Dallas came out. It was Boogeyman came out. That's right.
David Difference was there.
That's right.
It was crazy. I was like, this thing is gonna go
was
ham.
there. Vampiro came out, which was cool.
Yeah, Vampiro. And it was like 3 hours. I was like, this shit's, when you told me about it, I was like, this shit's gonna go ham. I'm getting on this thing, and like it did moderate, but it like
it was like, I want to say it did like 25,000 views, something like that. And granted, we were on a couple different platforms, but yeah, it didn't take off like wildfire. But and like we've chopped it up and did some like edits and stuff, and like people have, it's all been like positive reactions and stuff. But I was surprised, and everybody shared it. Sting shared it, Goldberg shared it. So I don't know. It was weird.
Not sure what happened.
Yeah, just YouTube, man. Their fucking algorithm didn't favor us.
Well, not that it was a dud, but even then, if you go back to that, that's when Goldberg, who we're about to talk about why you don't like this motherfucker. That's when Goldberg and initially talked about WWE's got him training. We could have broke that news. I thought you guys were going to break it, so I didn't want to clip it and put it out and take the.
I think we did. I think we talked a little bit about it, but like
you did,
yeah.
But I'm saying, like, I clipped it and put it out to the news sources is like Goldberg's training. That would have been a headline, because he announced it like 2 months ago on the podcast, and they were like, "Oh, Goldberg's back. He says he's coming back on Whoop De Whoop."
Yeah, we were like, we already covered that.
Yeah. And I guess it just went a little under the radar. But so Goldberg's on this live stream. You coordinated everything, hooked it up, and then what? So what happened?
Nah, so he was fine. He was just, I don't think he minces words. He was like, I texted him, and I texted everybody, right? Because I'm coordinating like who's going on at what time, and these guys can be divas sometimes. It was like, I don't want to go on with that guy, but so it was like, all right, we're trying to figure out a 3-hour schedule where everybody gets their time, but certain people don't want to overlap with each other because there's too much star power in one screen. Apparently, one person, I'm not gonna say who or anything, but people, it was literally down to like who would be in what box, like on here, like I'm after you right now. One person would want to be in front of that. It's like, really, guys, you're all like 60 years old, like. Really? But yeah, so it was a lot, which wrestlers can be a lot. But Goldberg was like, just so you're aware, you're the only one that has my number over there. I was like, well, that's cool, because there's only me over here. And he was like, and like, it's just me and Buff, And he was like, so when we're done, lose my number. I was like, okay, buddy. Like, I wasn't coming over to grill weenies on the 4th of July with you, bro.
Text you during the night. What's up, buddy?
Right. Right. So I was just like, that's kind of, and I think he's just that way. Like we ended up, that was before the whole thing. Like, that's kind of a weird way to start the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
But he was cool. He was cool. Yeah, that was before we even did it. That was like the day before. So yeah, he was kind of a dick.
A long time. I mean,
he did. I think he had a good time. Him and Bagwell had heat from like 25 years ago, and they got to work that out, which was cool. Which was just learning that, again, egos and wrestlers. The heat was that he thought that Bagwell made fun of him during a bench press.
Right. And if you watch the live stream, he'll tell the story, and you'll find out who actually did.
Right. That's right.
I'm telling you, go watch that live, because
it's a good one. It's good.
Yes, just to see those guys bantering amongst each other and telling stories and laughing. That is, I don't know why that shit ain't super viral. And then you got the David Difference comes on.
That's right.
I'm telling you, everything. It's got everything you want and more. Go check that out. It's on the CAC TV, Cauliflower Alley Club TV. You allowed us to stream it on that as well. So it's on that, and it's on the Marcus Buff Bagwell channel. But it's like 3 hours of just great conversations, and
it's good for a road trip. You got to go and do a long drive, put that on, and it's cool just to hear. Like Booker told some really great stories about the Nasty Boys in Europe, like a little bit of everything. The heat between Goldberg and Buff was talked about on there, which we actually cut that up into its own video, and that did really well. But
okay,
yeah, there's some cool stuff. Maven came on, and Maven's an awesome dude. Just through and through, one of the most genuine people that I know in this crazy business of pro wrestling. So a little bit of everything there.
Yeah, that is insane. And before we get out of here, I want to touch on Maven. I mean, not pause. Talk about talk about Maven real quick. Like that connection and kind of seeing what he's doing. And we were talking before we went on here. It's like a year ago, 2 years ago, Maven didn't come up in a wrestling conversation.
No.
Now it's like, and I remember when like probably his first video popped up on my feed, and I was like, oh, okay, but it was interesting.
He's tapped into YouTube in a way that is nobody else has done. I mean, he was bigger than The Undertaker for the longest, and now Undertaker's with WWE with his whole thing. So I think Maven is the biggest content creator in the wrestling space now. But those guys, him and Zach, they're incredible. I've been doing YouTube for like 5 years, and I've, with not in the wrestling world, but with tech and gaming and stuff. So I know that side of things, but dude, like I'm just picking their brain. They're both, and Maven will kick it over to Zach, but Maven's just as good. They're incredible. They have the mind for how to captivate the audience, and every video they're doing exactly that. So hats off to them, man. They're incredible.
Yeah. No, I love what they're doing. I love his attitude about it, and again, he seems like a genuine cat, and it's so crazy in this business. If you like have, I don't even know how it, like the connections you make, you meet this person or work with this organization that leads to this, you just keep pushing and you do right by people and you make good connections. Sky's the fucking limit, I tell you. A lot of people just want that.
Dude, it's true, because common sense isn't common and good people are not common. And if you do right by, like, I became friends with Maven through the video that he shot here in the studio with Just Incredible. And we clicked then, and I did right by him. When I got hacked on YouTube and my life on YouTube was like on pause and I had no money, he was the motherfucker that helped me out. He was the guy that, here, you got to talk to these people. They're going to help you figure this out with Google and YouTube. And like, I have my life back because that fucking guy helped me out. So, you have to do right by people, and then I think that all that comes back around. I'm a big believer in good karma and good vibes and all that stuff. And yeah, if you put good stuff out, it comes back to you. So it's a good way to live.
Hey, that's the only way to live. Like if you want some real shit, man. We'll talk about it. The ear. We got the new Cauliflower Alley Club issue coming out. I heard it's just dropped in the mail. Are you a member, Chase? I'm thinking
I'm going to become a member. I don't think I am a member. I don't think I am.
$35, dude. Can I count
Take
on
my money
right here live on Kayfabe Friends?
You can count on me. You can count on it.
Because they send me the list. As soon as somebody they like new member, they let me know.
I'll be on there next time you get that list.
Okay. I get it tomorrow.
All right.
I get it tomorrow. But yeah, sign up. I'm telling you, it's a little bit of nothing.
Here, take my card right here.
yeah, give me that credit card number. Punch it in. But yeah, become a member. CAC. It definitely, even if you can't come to the reunion, it helps out so many people. And like, we're really stepping it up. We're trying to bring it to the younger generation of wrestlers and get them to know what's going on. So I appreciate putting the word out there. And we just got a new member here today. Your light went out.
Light went out. It's
did it go out
on me? It did.
That's enough. Okay. Got faulty shit over there, man. Got too many arcade games. Need to send one out.
I know, right? I got the other one still lasting. I'm not completely in the dark.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We're back. A billion things going on, but I mean, this is easy enough to do. So we'll be back in rotation, and we got a lot of different content coming. We're gonna do a lot of story driven and documentary style stuff for the YouTube channel, along with the podcast, along with some other projects that I'll be working with Chase on coming up. There's just a lot of shit going. If you are a wrestling fan, you are a kayfabe friend of mine, and we'll see you next time. Chase, thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.